I can teach you how to use Rhino 8, but I cannot teach you how to be creative. In my previous video, we made an eternity band ring, but what if we want to make a half eternity instead? In this video, I will show you how to do it and also build some shared prongs. Alright, let's use our circle command first and place the center of the circle. Press 0 on your keyboard, press enter. This time let's make a ring of the size of 18mm, which is a US 8. Okay, we can offset the circle by typing offset on your keyboard. Press enter, select the curve, and let's make a ring of the size of 2mm. Press enter once again. Alright, now we can import our gemstones to our projects and select import file, press OK. First, let me change the color of our gemstones, and I'll change it to a better color so we can see it clearly. Let's change the size of our gemstone by selecting the gems and go to our box edit window, select the size and resize it to 2mm. Press enter on your keyboard. Let's move our gemstone. Select the gemstones and hold shift on your keyboard and drag this little green arrow on the top to about here. It is fine. Now let's make another offset. Type offset on your keyboard. Select this curve, and now instead of typing our distance, we are going to select the option through point, and we are going to snap our point on the bottom of the gems, just like that. Now we can go ahead and rotate our gems. Select the gems and select the rotating command. Place the center of the rotation, which is 0. Press enter on your keyboard. Hold shift and select anywhere on the top of the gems, and then drag it on the bottom to somewhere around here. Another tips is to always have your record history on. You can find your record history on the bottom on the C-plane section, and you just have to right click on it and select always record history. Alright, now we can go ahead and split our guidelines in several parts. Let's take our polyline, snap on the center, and then snap on the bottom of our gems, just like this. Let's make another line by snapping once again on the center, and this time like snap on the bottom, which is on the half of the circle, just like this. Now we can go ahead and mirror both lines on the other side. Select both lines, type mirror on your keyboard, press enter, and type Y to mirror it over the Y axis. Press enter. Now let's go ahead and split our guideline. Select the split command, select our circle, press enter, and select the cutting object, which is those curves. Press enter once again. Now you can see that it has like split into several parts. We can go ahead and delete those 4 curves along with those little curves on the sides, and we are going to keep the bottom and the top one. Now we can use the array command to place our gemstones along this part on the top right here using our curves. Instead of using the array polar function, this time we are going to use the array along curves. Let's select our gemstones, and you can find the array along curves on the transform tools, and then you just go to array and along curves. Select the path, which is this curves right here. It's going to give us 3 options. We can either guess how many gemstones we have by typing the number of gemstones, let's say 10, or we can use the distance. So if we press F1 on our keyboard and go to the distance part, it said that the distance between items. So what does it mean? It means that the distance between our gemstones. So let's do it again. Select our objects to array, which is our gemstones, press enter, and select our path, which is our curves. This time we are going to select the distance, and I know that our gemstones has the measurement of 2mm, and I want to add 0.2mm in between each gemstones, so it will be 2.2mm. Press enter. Now that you can see that it's not perfect and it's missing 1 stones on the other side, it's not really aligned, and also it has too much space in between. But the good thing is we have a rough estimation of how many stones. We are then going to select the items option and just add one more stones, so it will be 14 stones, just like that. And now you can see the result. It is perfectly like aligned. Just press enter once again. We can go ahead and build our ring. Select both circles and extrude command on your keyboard. So for the distance, I want to add 0.5 millimeter on both sides. So it will be 3 millimeter, but I also want to account the shrinkage amount, and I'm simply going to add a 0.15 millimeter. So it will be in total 3.115 millimeter, and you divide it by 2 because it is extruding on both sides. Press enter. Now we can go ahead and make a little channel for our gemstones. Alright, let's take our polyline, and we are going to go to our right viewport and snap our start of our polyline to somewhere around here over the diamond. And we are going to go down to a distance of 0.8. Hold shift and just click on your grid. Let's make another polyline, and we are going to snap on the bottom of our guideline we just made. Hold shift and snap it on the side of the diamond, just like that. And we are going to finish our line slightly at an angle to create a chamfer on the ring, just like that. So we can delete our guideline, and we are simply going to mirror this on the other side by typing mirror on your keyboard, press enter, and press Y on your keyboard to mirror it over the Y axis. So let's hide all of our gemstones, and now we can simply close both curves we just made. Then we can join all the curves together. So now let's use our sweep 1 to rail function. Select the rail, which is our bottom guideline, and select the shape to sweep. Press enter on your keyboard, enter, and enter once again. So select this surface we just made and mirror it to the other side. So I'm going to select both of the surface we just made and type group on your keyboard to group them together. Let's switch our view mode to shaded mode, and as you can see, we have created a nice surface, so we can boolean and cut it through our ring. But before we cut in our ring, let me turn off this this surface first. You can see that it is a open poly surface. So if you check on the properties tab, it said to open poly surface. And to use our boolean function, we have to make a closed poly surface. To do that, we will simply use the cap function. Type cap on your command line, press enter. Now we can use the boolean function. So type boolean difference on your keyboard, press enter, select the surface or poly surface to subtract from, which is our ring, press enter, and select the surface to subtract with, which is the new surface we made, and select the option delete input and equal yes. Press enter on your keyboard. So this is the result, and now we can go ahead and create some little holes for our diamonds. Alright, let's take our cylinder by typing cylinder on your command and place it on the center by typing 0 on your keyboard. And let's make a hole of the size of 0.8 millimeter. Press enter, and for the length, let's make something about that size. So let's move our cylinder on the top by selecting our cylinder, hold shift, and drag this little green arrow on the top. Place somewhere around here. You don't want to go too deep, otherwise it's going to be too thin on the bottom. And now we can rotate the cylinder to place it on each diamonds. So select the rotate icon or type rotate on your command, and we are going to select the copy equals yes to make some copy. Place the center of rotations, press 0 on your keyboard, press enter, hold shift to constrain the angle, and select anywhere around on the top, click anywhere, and then just snap it on each diamonds like that. Alright, now we can mirror all of those cylinders on the other side. Select all of our cylinders and switch to another layer. Now we are going to use the Boolean difference again. Type Boolean difference on your keyboard, press enter, select the surface to subtract from, which is our ring, press enter, and then select all of our cylinders, press enter once again. And here we have created some nice holes to place our diamonds. Okay, now let's create our prongs to set our diamonds. So we're going to take the cylinder commands again, type cylinder, place on the center, type 0, press enter, and for the diameter we are going to make some prongs of minimum the size of 0.7 millimeter. Press enter, and for the length just make roughly about that size. It is fine. If you want to resize the prongs size, you can hold Ctrl Shift on your keyboard and select the bottom line, and then just simply drag it to whatever size you need. Alright, let's round off the top of our prongs by typing fillet edge on your keyboard. Select the top part, which is this one, and we have a size of 0.7 for our prongs, and to round it off we are going to divide it by 2, which is 0.35. However, we don't want to be exactly on the half, we want to be slightly below, so it's going to be 0.34. So this is how our prongs looks. Alright, let's select our prong and switch it to another layer. Now let's go ahead and place our prongs on the top like that, and drag a little bit like down right here, and let's turn off our gems to see how it looks. If you need to resize your prongs, you can simply hold shift and drag the little handle like that. Let's switch our view to shaded mode to see how it looks. Okay, once you are satisfied with how the prongs looks, we can go ahead and rotate our prongs and place in between each stones to have like a shared prongs. Select the prongs and type rotate on your keyboard. Place the center of rotation 0, press enter, and this time we are not going to place on the green axis, but we are going to place in between, in the middle of the gemstones, just like that. So we are going to rotate them, make a copy, and then snap it on each gemstones, each middle of the gemstones, just like that. Alright, now we can select all of our prongs and just mirror it to the other side. Select the parent prongs and type cell children in the command line. It's going to select all the children prongs. So deselect the parent prongs and type mirror on your keyboard. Type Y on your keyboard and just press enter, just like that. Okay, we can go ahead and select all of our prong. Select object, and then we can mirror it above the x-axis. Just type mirror on your keyboard and then press X on your keyboard, press enter. And just like that, guys, we have created a nice half eternity band ring. We can get a little more detail, like if you want to round off the inside of the ring, but this is really up to you. Thank you for watching all the way here, my man. I know there is a lot of way and faster way to create something in Rhino. However, my goal is to show you the fundamentals and also get you familiarized with the commands.